Now, the WMAL Fisher House Radiothon continues. Please support our wounded warriors and their families by calling in your contribution now. 888-294-8560. That's 888-294-8560.
Yeah, let's make those phone calls. Be like Joseph in Ashland. Joseph in Ashland, Virginia, just donated, guess how much? Not one, but $2,000.
Wonderful.
To Fisher House Foundation. I'm thinking he may have been as inspired as we were to talk to Jeff Sampson, that Vietnam veteran from the United States Navy, that incredible story that he just shared with us. We'll keep those donations coming in, please. 888-294-8560. Let's finish O'Connor and Company strong before we hand it off to Chris Plant, and then he'll take all the credit. Yeah, that's how Chris is. It's like they'll say, "Oh, yeah, I'm Chris." It's Larry O'Connor with Patrice. Why am I getting all hostile with Chris Plant? That's just not fair.
Especially on Fisher House Friday, Larry. This is the special Friday.
He's like that really annoying older brother to me that is always trying to boss me around and bully me, and sometimes I just lash out. Anyway, Chris Plant coming up in just a few moments. Joining us right now, great American, great law enforcement hero. He's the chief of police, of course, for the Capitol Police on January 6th. Stephen Sun, friend of the program. And Chief, we saw this news yesterday. I know you saw the news yesterday about this arrest of the suspect now linked to the January 6th pipe bomb. So we wanted to get your opinion on it. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, my pleasure, Larry and Patrice. Yeah, super happy they finally have made an arrest. Here we are 59 months later. I was at the gym about 8:30 in the morning, and my phone absolutely blew up. I had a member of Congress call me about it, which was nice, Loudermilk to confirm it, and then it all just kind of took off from there.
So, listen, you're a law enforcement professional. You've been involved in a lot of different investigations. Based on everything that you saw yesterday and everything you've learned, can you come up with a reason why the FBI, like 3 years ago, couldn't have made this arrest?
When you look at it, and I've read the criminal complaint in support of the affidavit, it's basic 101 investigations. I don't know if there was a lack of motivation, a concern. I don't know if maybe they're dealing with some corrupt cell phone records. You heard, people talking about some of the cell phone records were corrupt for a while, but this is something that basically could have been investigated and run down within three to 9 months. It's, tracking down cell phone data, tracking down location, tracking down LPR, license plate readers to find a car, find a person, then bank records. That's basic 101 investigation. So I have no idea why it took 59 months to get to this location, get to this place.
Well, what's also interesting is that from the lackadaisical response of the Justice Department on the previous Biden administration, there's been a lot of fire put under this put under the Justice Department by, you called out Representative Loudermilk and members of his committee investigating it. Can you talk about Congress's role in really pushing and nudging until this became a priority again?
And I'm very thankful that they kept pushing and nudging. I was down with the committee, had a meeting. Bureau was there back in mid-October with them again pushing. One, to reannounce the $500,000 reward. Get somebody to start looking at this from ground zero on up again. And here we are. So I credit the committee for where we are right now.
Listen, it's impossible in this town, especially based on the lived experience, as they say, we've had for the last 10 years, to not suspect that maybe politics played a role in some of these investigations. And when you look at the suspect and you look at what we've learned so far about his background, is it fair to assume, Chief Sund, that because he didn't necessarily fit the narrative about the January 6th events that the Merrick Garland, Christopher Wray, and Biden administrations were trying to sell us on, white supremacy and right-wing MAGA, anti-government maniacs? He doesn't seem to fit that profile. Is it possible that they didn't prioritize looking into this guy because of that?
it's concerning to think that could play a role. And when you look at it again, you got to have open eyes with everything, and consider that a possibility. If that's the case, you let this guy walk the streets for years. This guy had been purchasing more bomb making equipment following January 6th. What was his plans? Did he have any other targets? I mean, you could put people's lives at risk by making that decision. If that is the case, you hope it's not the case. You hope that they're not politicized like that. But we've seen far too often that law enforcement does get politicized often.
Chief Sund, you reached out earlier this morning when you were listening, and you heard us that we're in the midst of the Fisher House Radiothon. And if you're okay with that, I'd love for you to sort of share with our listeners your thoughts about Fisher House and about their role in our community.
Oh, absolutely. Fisher House is phenomenal. I come from a military background. My dad was a B-52 pilot who actually came down with a really bad case of leukemia. It was devastating to see what he went through. Getting treatment out of Andrews Air Force Base. It would have been great to have a program like Fisher House to help. But when you think about it, I mean, even nowadays, I heard you talking about, what are some of the reasons that, military personnel could be needing Fisher House. Think of, Staff Sergeant Andrew Wolf. He's fighting for his life after being, in the attempted assassination the day before Thanksgiving in Washington, D.C. I suspect that may be a case where Fisher House could come, and help him and his family.
Absolutely.
Help with him. So things like that are, I think, important. So it's a great organization. Support it. And I recommend everybody else trying to support that organization as well. So I wish there was something like that for law enforcement.
Well said, sir. And yes, I mean, for everyone who supports our National Guard being deployed right now across the country to help law enforcement, federal law enforcement, as well as especially here in D.C., working with local law enforcement, including Chief Sund's Capitol Hill Police, then you should be helping out Fisher House, because that's your National Guard, and they're all part of that equation too. And thanks for raising awareness for that, Chief Sund. I appreciate it. And Merry Christmas to you and your family.
Well, thank you. I'm hoping this, recent action on the pipe bomber. Excuse me. I'm sorry. The recent arrest opens up a lot, and we start to get a lot of answers to some questions.
Amen. Well, but yet sadly, we have even more questions now after everything we've learned about this investigation.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.